Look at this book. It's not a book, right? It's got staples. Staples. Do you think that's a real legitimate book? Guess what? It is. What about this one? Not very thick. This one also, actually. Not very thick, either one of them. What do you think? Legitimate books or not? They are legitimate books. They are short books. And I am the queen of short books. I love writing short books and writing them fast. Used to do it tons when I started out my career. In order to just say I was an author, I would create booklets like this, saddle stitched, stapled, right? And by doing that, I could say I was an author. Well, how could that be? You know, this thing's tiny. Well, I used to get books in the mail. Sorry, dropped it. I used to get books in the mail in envelopes. I'd open up this little envelope and say book inside, and I'd find this tiny little book, saddle stitched, stapled, legitimate book. So that's what I produced first so that I could say I was an author and I could go out and get speaking gigs. And I'd produce them on a booklet press, and it wouldn't take me long to write them at all or to produce them. So I want to dispel this idea that a book has to be 200 pages long and take you 2 years to write or to publish. Not true. It's just not true. Not anymore. So these books, who wrote these books? Are these legitimate authors? You might be saying, Nina, you weren't a legitimate author. You wrote some little book, that was 70 pages long and, just not legitimate. But that's not true. This book, okay, but first of all, I paid money for these books. Okay, these two books, I paid money for them. I think one of them may have been, get the book free and pay shipping. I can't remember. But I put out some money to get these books. And here's the thing. This tiny little saddle-stitched book that only has, 40 pages, basically, 40 pages. Got some promotion at the back, 4 extra pages. Anyway, 40 pages. This book is written by Lewis Howes. Lewis Howes, The Millionaire Morning. I wanted to read it. It had great value for me. Right? So it's not that this short book has no value. So that's the other thing. People think short, not enough value. Not true. Today people want value fast and quickly, right? That's the same thing, fast and quickly. They want value fast, and they want to be able to get their questions answered and their problems solved super quickly, right? They just want the value. They don't care whether it's long or short. But short can be really good because it doesn't take long to read. You think it took me long to read this? I mean, his type's pretty small, but it didn't take me more than probably half an hour tops to read this. But it's legitimate. This is a book. And it's written by a New York Times bestselling author. And if I recall correctly, this is being used primarily as a lead magnet. So he's sending out a very short book, New York Times bestselling author, plus he's a super successful podcaster, and he's sending this book out for almost nothing in order to get people on his mailing list. Because I know I'm getting emails from Lewis Howes, so I know that's what's happening here. Okay, so this one, a little bit thicker, a little heftier. This one has, if you don't count the notes pages at the back that have nothing on them, has 165 pages. And it's written by one of my favorite authors and teachers, actually, in the personal development field, T. Harv Eker. It's called The Good Millionaire. Again, I paid some money for this. It showed up, tiny little book in a little tiny envelope, right? And this one has very little copy per page, very little. Okay, so if you think this took me more than, half an hour to read, it didn't. Was it valuable to me? Yes. Was I glad that I paid the money for it? I was. So 2 books by New York Times bestselling authors. T. Harv Eker is also a New York Times bestselling author. And, here they came, tiny little books. So is this legitimate? Of course it's legitimate. Can you be a legitimate author by writing a short book super fast and publishing it? Of course you can. And that's my challenge to you, is stop wasting time trying to write this big long book. It can be written later, but start with a short book. Writing a short book fast is less overwhelming. It gives you a kind of track record. You're like, okay, I wrote a short book, I can do a longer book. So this one was 50 pages, now I'll write a 100-page book. Then I'll write a 150-page book. And it gives you a track record, helps you build some platform, makes you an expert out there. My short books, they made me an expert, and they made me an author so that I could get those speaking gigs, right? So you're going to build some platform, you're going to get a track record, you're going to know that you can do it, you're going to become an expert. All these phenomenal reasons to write a short book fast. A lot of people I know write short books, and I'll talk about this in another video, to build their business, right? To get clients in. So they give them out at conventions or they send them to potential clients, that sort of thing, right? Super helpful. So my challenge to you today is to write a short book fast. Get a book written before the end of the year. It's July. I'm shooting this video in July, first weekend in July, and you got 6 months, less than 6 months, to make yourself an author or to write another book if you've already got a book out. So I challenge you to do it. Write a short book fast. And if you don't know how to write a short book fast, if you're thinking, what would I write about? And maybe I'm even a novelist. What would a short book do for me? Or, I'm a nonfiction writer, but I have this big book I want to write. So why would I switch gears and write this short book? And what kind of short book would I write? There's so many types. Tip books and one big idea books and quote books and just tons of different types of books. And so I teach this in a very short course called How to Write a Short Book Fast. Makes sense, right? How to Write a Short Book Fast. And it's got a webinar in there, a webinar replay that's an hour long with 30 minutes of Q&A. It has a Q&A session in there, also recorded, with lots of great questions asked. It has a workbook for you to use, and it has resources from Carla King on how to publish your book. And what else is in there? Anyway, it's enough. It's a very short course on how to write a short book fast. And it's an ideation process, an ideation exercise. The workbook will lead you through all of it. And before you know it, you're going to have so many ideas for short books fast. That's all you're going to want to do. So my challenge to you, write a short book fast and do it before the end of the year. To learn more, you will find a link in this post and in a comment down below for my How to Write a Short Book Fast. And you can even get a discount right now. I did a July 4th discount. So it's good till Monday night. Okay, so take a look at the link down below, learn more, write a short book fast. I'm Nina Amir. I'm the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I'm an author coach. I am a Amazon best-selling author of How to Blog a Book, the Author Training Manual, Creative Visualization for Writers, and a host of ebooks. Want to see some of my short books? Go to booksbyninaamir.com and check it out. I'm also a high performance coach, so from a high performance perspective, this is super way to really make some progress. I'm one of 700 elite certified high performance coaches in the world, and the only one working with writers primarily. So check me out. Check out the course down below or up above, wherever you're looking. There's a link. And when you write that short book fast, tell me about it. Leave me a comment somewhere and tell me, or show me the cover and put a link. Okay, that's fine. Put a link to your new book. Anyway, that's it for today. Until I talk to you next time, go out there and achieve more inspired results by writing a short book really fast.